be ready. Just 2 seconds. Yes, I'm just getting this. Yeah, we are live now. Hello, Mike. How are you?
Hello.
Great to see you today with us.
Yes, I'm fine, thank you.
Brilliant. I'm glad to see you today, and Master Bruce as well. How long you haven't met together?
Sorry?
How long you haven't met with Bruce? For a long time?
Yeah, I haven't heard from him since he came to Amsterdam. He didn't hear from me anymore.
Great. So let's start. So thank you very much, Mike, to accept our invitation today and to be with us. I will introduce myself and my colleagues as well. My name is Rashid Gailain. I am academic teacher of Taekwondo for the last 30 years in London. I am teaching in East London in one of the biggest academy called Hardry Academy. We are, me and my colleague Anwar and Bruce, we are trying to establish a connection with the world champion, especially the world champion coming from North African backgrounds and from Middle East backgrounds. You cannot imagine how many fans you have and how many followers and you have from North Africa, from Middle East, and people inspired by your initiatives and by your willpower to establish your gym and to create and to rise world champions. The reason from this meeting is to be a part of this community, or this international champion community, and to get them closer to who is Mike. Who is this person? A lot of people heard about you, but they never been close enough to understand who is Mike. And that is the reason why I am here. So I also thank you very much for Bruce Harvard for his attendance. And I'm glad to see him with us as well. He's one of the masters in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He will add a lot to this community and to this meeting with us as well. And thank you as well to Mr. Anwar. Anwar is international champion in Budikaido, and he participated in a lot of international competitions. And he been accomplished his certificate and his training in Nepal. Yes, so Mike, thank you very much again. Mike, I will leave the word and I will leave the micro to you.
What do you want to know? Ask questions.
All right, okay. Is that the easiest way, Mike?
Huh?
Is the easiest way to carry on questions, answers, or keep you
I don't
talking?
know. You know, I don't know what to say about myself. So.
Well, the first thing is, Mike, I would like a lot of people, we all know there's no one missed these informations. You are one of the person, you are the person who is proud trainee of many big international fighters, and you raised many world champions like Jeremy, Badr Hari, Jamal Ben Sadiq, Gokhan Saki, and all these stars in the kickboxing world. So first of all, Mike, we are inspired to know more about your Mike Gym. How do you establish this gym? And what is special about this gym in kickboxing?
Well, it's simple, I think. I opened a gym because I want to do kickboxing 24 hours a day, whenever I want. And it's called my gym for a reason, because it's according to my way, like everything. and that's why it's called Mike's Gym, of course.
Brilliant. Is your gym, Mike, is specialized in a kickboxing only, or is MMA as well and other martial arts sport?
Well, we do kickboxing mostly. We also do boxing and some MMA, but lately more kickboxing. K1, not the Muay Thai, just the K1 style. That's better for me. And we do the boxing. So we are with Chico Kwasi. He's fighting end of this month for the World Youth Championship of the WBO. So that's okay.
Brilliant, brilliant. So recently, I think in February 2019, Mike Gym partnered with well-known VOS Gym. Is that correct?
With?
VOS Gym.
VOS Gym.
Lead by even Hippo, yeah?
No, we were never together. It's just he didn't have a place to train. And he has such a, how do you say, well, he tributes so much to kickboxing. So I said, listen, if you don't have a place to train, come in our gym. We just make some room for you and you can train. So that's it. And he stayed with us for, I don't know, year and a half, I think. And then he found a new place and he went his own way. So we were never together, you know. It was just one gym helping another gym out. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. So, Mike, you know, you work a lot with North African champions and like Badr Hárي, like Ben Sadiq and others. So what do you think about, especially Moroccan champions? Do you think they have a future in this kickboxing for the next 5 years?
Yeah, why not? There are a lot of good Moroccan fighters. And yeah, the only thing I do is just try to get the most out of it. So they become champions. And well, so far so good. I think for the next 5 years, you also got this guy, Hamisha. He's very talented. And also in Fusion are a lot of Moroccan fighters there, so who are good fighters. So that's it, I think.
Brilliant, brilliant. So any question, Mr. Anwar?
I think.
Brilliant, brilliant. So any question?
السلام عليكم. مرحبا بمستر مايك. كنرحبوا بك في كل كترحب بك داخل ارض الوطن وخارج ارض الوطن. كاينه بزاف المغاربه كيبغيوك، يعني كنحسوا بك سبحان الله بحال اللي مغربي ديالنا. قوت كنشوفوا ابطال مغاربه اللي يعني كيترينوا عندك، وصلوا ابطال كبارين عالميين. مرحبا بك عندنا في صفحه صله وصل كل ابطال مغاربه العالم. كنرحبوا بك وشكرا على التلبيه ديال الدعوه ديالك للصفحه.
Mr. Anwar said, thank you very much for accepting his invitations. And he would like to express that we are, as a Moroccan community and North African community and champions of world champions, we believe that you are one of us. We don't believe that you are different from us, and you made us happy, you made us cry, you made us excited, you made us in our nerves. So thank you very much to be here today with us.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So your question, Anwar.
بغيت نسول استاذ مايك شنو هو السر ديال التألق ديال مايك؟ شنو هو التمييز ديالو على بعض المدربين في العالم؟ سر النجاح ديال مايك كيفاش ولا يعني تبارك الله، واش كيفاش ولا مدرب عالمي بهذا الحجم كلشي كيعرفوا؟ واش سر التألق ديالو هو في اللعابه اللي كيجيب مشهورين يلعبوا عنده، او هو اللي كيكون ديك اللعابه؟ شكرا.
So Mr. Anwar, he's asking Mike, he's asking about what is special about Big Mike? What makes Mike star legend in a kickboxing training world. Do you choose your own trainees? You choose your own world champions, or you made them from scratch?
No, both. I never ask a fighter to come to fight for me. You know, they come themselves if they want to be better, and I just try to help them. I just do my best to guide them in the right direction. That's it, nothing more.
Great. Bruce, are you with us? Hello, Bruce? Bruce? Yes, well, Bruce is getting ready. I think he lost, yes, he lost his microphone. Hello, Bruce? Bruce?
Hi,
Bruce.
Hello, Bruce. Yes, brother, how are you?
Hi, Bruce. Can we have your picture, Bruce? Your video?
Yes.
Brilliant.
Oh.
Yes, brother, how are you? Hi, Bruce. Can we have your picture, Bruce?
Yes, ask.
Yes. Brilliant.
Brilliant.
How are you, brother?
We are fine, Bruce. Thank you very much. We are with Mike at the moment. Mike is here. And Bruce, do you have any question for Mike?
Fine, Bruce. Thank you very much. We are with Mike at the moment. Mike is here. And Bruce, do you have any question for Mike?
Well, what I want to say, Mike, he does a great job. He produces a lot of athletes. And the same question, I'm a coach too. I coach Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You know, and my question to Mike, how to keep people loyal to your club, you know what he said, when Mike talked, he talked from his heart. Any question, ask him, he answered it directly questions. He doesn't play with the word. And my question to Mike, how to keep these athletes exactly in Holland, not visiting other gyms, traveling from gym to gym to keep them loyal. It's something very hard, and maybe you need a contract with them, or just really, can you give me some idea? Because US and Holland may be totally different. How to keep fighters training in your club loyal, stay loyal?
Well, that's more a question for them as for me. You know, I just show up every day for work and give them good trainings. And I never work with contracts. A handshake is enough. And if you want to break that handshake, okay, that's up to you. And that's up to them, you know, not up to me. So basically, I don't work with contracts. If they want, they want. If they don't want, they don't want, you know. I see it as the same as you're living together with a woman. If you're together exclusively. If you want to fool around, okay, that's up to them. You know, maybe it's not, how do you say? It's not the way it should be. But if you choose that way, okay, it's just more about them than about me. So if you want to go. You know, I don't want to train with guys who are unhappy or don't want to train with me. If you don't want to be with me or train with me, just go. Simple as that. You know, there are a lot of fighters who wants to train but cannot, and there are a lot of fighters who wants to train and still stay. So I've got enough work, no problem.
Thank you, Mike. Another question's been asked by Mr. Anwar. Mr. Anwar, he's technically asked these questions. He's saying that why Mike, when he's training strategy, he always concentrates on knockout rather than points. Is that a secret in that?
No, there is no secret. It is simple. Look, if you go to a fight show, you have to pay a lot of money to get in. If you bring your son, daughter, or you bring a friend, or your wife, girlfriend, doesn't matter. So you have to pay a lot of money. And all your food that you brought from home is be thrown away when you enter, because you cannot bring the food in. So you have to buy some very expensive burgers and also some very expensive cola or beer or whatever you want to drink. Okay. If you pay that money, you want to have some quality. And what do you want to see? You want to see knockouts. You don't want to see clinching. You don't want to see some points. You don't want to see that, you know, so you want to see knockouts. And that's why we always go for the knockout, just to please the audience. I think that's the most important thing to do in the world.
Great, great. So in general, for example, how long that would take for a champion to be ready for fight, Mike, in your club?
It depends on the fighter. Not every fighter is the same, but all fighters need. Well, every fighter needs a different kind of approach, you know. So some people are ready in 3 weeks, some people 4 weeks, some people 8 weeks. Depends on the fighters. So there is no special rules, because I also take every fighter individually, not as a group, you know. So it doesn't work like this, I think. So that all depends on fighters.
Brilliant. Thank you. Any other questions, Bruce or Anwar?
السؤال ديالي للمستر مايك، علاش بعض المقاتلين في هولندا البروفيسيونال المحترفين ما كيمشيو يلعبوا في الام ام اي او الواي اف سي، ما كيتوفقوش، ما كيعطيوش واحد المستوى اللي كيعطيو في الكاون في التايوان والكيك بوكسينغ. شكرا.
Okay, so Mr. Anwar, he said a lot of fans or followers believe or notice that the majority of the kickboxing players, when they go to MMA or UFC, they don't perform the same as a kickboxing when they do kickboxing, especially from Holland or from a Big Mike club.
Well, it's a different sport, so you cannot perform the same. It's not possible, you know. You reach a certain point. MMA is a different kind of sport. It's most of the time it becomes underestimated by other fighters. You know, said, okay, well, I'm gonna do MMA, but you're facing guys who are wrestling their whole life or do judo their whole life, you know. So these guys are different, and they need a different approach. Then you think you're gonna do some wrestling or some judo, so you're wrestling like 5 months, and in these 5 months your stand-up is getting worse. So that's mostly the reason why. You know, if you pick a sport, stay at your sport. You know, there's different thing. MMA and kickboxing is different, same as table tennis and tennis. You know, it looks the same, but it's a world of difference. Or badminton and tennis, you know, it's different. So when you think you can do it, but at the end of the day, it's not the same.
Great. Bruce, any question?
Yes.
Hello, Bruce? Bruce? Maybe Bruce, we miss him, Bruce. Yes, he missed, yeah. Fine. Another question we noticed as well is from the audience and the followers, Mr. Mike.
Another question we noticed,
Brother.
Yes.
just,
Hi, Bruce.
and the followers.
Hey, how are you?
Hi. Any questions for Mike?
Yeah, what I know about Mike is he's a good man. You know, always like he's a hard worker. He deserves the reward, and he's great. You know what you tell it with all questions, what you want from him already answering all the direct questions. And regarding fighters, like what the question I give, when you invest in someone from scratch, you bring him to a certain level, and you go walk away. I don't think it's nice. You know what I'm saying? You spend all your time, you give all your heart. You know what I'm saying? And like when you divorce a wife, for example, she share you with your life, kids and stuff. But you know, you are at a certain age, you know, you gotta go old, you grow up like friends and families together, you know. and she's just gonna walk away. No, you know, we're gonna work for what I've been through, you know, with you and stuff. We split the things, you know. If we got the money, if we got the car, or if we got credit card, you know what I'm saying? It's not easy like that. It's a reputation. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people, they're from scratch, they're working hard as athlete and as a coach too. And when they become star or famous, they're gonna tell you goodbye. It's not nice. I think like a knife in the back, you know?
Yeah.
And that's how I evaluate the time for any coach or any athlete, both sides, you know?
Yeah. Thank you. Any response to this, Mike? Anything to add?
No, it's a little bit like I told before, you know, why we don't have contracts. So it's the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. So another question, Mike, this question is coming from the commenters and from the audience and followers and the public, saying, you know, the last match of Jamal bin Sadiq, we believe as martial art followers that he performed greatly well, and he done absolutely fantastic job. And he was prepared, but we all been not shocked, very disappointed about the level of stamina because he wasn't prepared for round 5 and round 6. And when obviously we asked him, he said he was prepared up to round 4 or 5, but he was not expecting to take it that level. What is your comment about this, Mike?
Oh, that you didn't look correctly, I think. That's my comment. Look, it's simple. I trained with him 7 weeks. From the 7 weeks, 1 week is 5 weeks, so you don't train that well. 3 weeks, he needs to get to know me. Okay, so there are like 3-4 weeks left. We trained, no problem. Then he had a hell of a fight where everything happened. You know, some things not according to the rules, some things according to the rules, okay. But if Rico is the fighter with the most stamina in the world, after that fight is also shaking on his feet by extortion, and then you say Jamal is not prepared. Rico, you know, it was about who's going to collapse. So if you say something like that, you didn't watch the fight or you didn't watch it correctly. You know, so,
Yeah.
but everybody, you know, an opinion is like an asshole. Everybody has one. So, you know, everybody can have his opinion, but you have to get your facts straight. You have to look at what it is. You know, you see Rico trembling, shaking, you know, also holding by his coach. And Jamal, he was also tired, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. But if Rico is the guy with the most stamina, and he's also about to give up. So what does it say? That Jamal has no good stamina or Jamal has a very good stamina?
Yeah.
You think about this one.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. That would bring us to another question, Mike, which is very, very, I would say, disappointed as well to see the continuous loss of Badr Hari in the last 4 games or 3 games. Is that related to the age or related to the retirement, or because we, as a followers, to be honest, we couldn't understand, because we always believe in him. We always believe in that he's the man who can do it. And for the last 4 fights, it was very disappointed. We don't know the reason why.
Well, I don't think it's disappointed. You look, first of all, I'm not training with Badr anymore. You know, so I cannot talk about the last fight. I was not there. All the other fights, I know, you know, it's he. You may be disappointed, but don't forget this, you know, he brought so much joy and so much pride for all the Moroccans. You know, by his fighting, he was doing so much good work for the Moroccans as a fighter. You know, before this, Who do you have? Nobody. You know, you have maybe Fikri or Musit, you know, but they never do what Badr did. They never bring these kind of people, audience to the buildings or to the television sets or to the bars. So, you know, even Real Madrid has sometimes a bad year or a less year. But don't forget, this guy is only fighting finals and not finals of a local tournament, no, Champions League finals. He's not ducking anybody. He's fighting everybody. And he's doing his best. And sometimes he lost 2 times of Rico because he needed to stop, because he torn a ligament in his ankle or he torn something in his arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so how can you be disappointed? This guy is giving his life, his body to entertain you, and you are disappointed.
Yeah. Well, this is, we understood the fight when...
But answer me, please.
Pardon? Say it again.
Answer me.
Yeah, well, you know, no, Mike, this is just the followers and, you know, the fan of Badr Hari, they accepting the injuries. When the injuries happen, they cannot do anything about that. That has happened. That can happen at, you know, at any time, anywhere, without any excuses. But they've been asking questions about the last 2 fights with Benjamin and the last fight as well. That was little bit unexpected, because especially the the knockout.
Also, these things happen. These things happen in fighting, you know.
Yeah.
In 120 fights, maybe that 2 fights, maybe 3 fights in his life. It was not, you know, according to plan, but the rest is okay.
Yeah. No, we appreciate the hard work and perseverance and he Badr, we believe Badr, he will never give up, and he will never just drop the keys and go, and he will fight until the end. But few technical questions for normal audience and for normal followers is not understandable. Just need clarifications, especially when you believe the first round and the second round is under his control. He's controlling it very well, and he knocked him out twice or 3 times within 2 rounds or 3 rounds. But suddenly, Badr in the last
Yeah,
game,
but the last fight was not with me. I cannot talk about that one.
Yeah.
The only thing I can say he did his best, and he got injured and get a head kick. Okay.
Yeah, that was clear. That was is nothing to do about that. It's nothing to do about it. Yeah, absolutely. Any question, Bruce or Anwar?
Yeah, well, you know, my question to Mike, you know, regarding in MMA, do you think down the road is this kickboxing in Holland, they're going to change to the, you know, an MMA environment instead, maybe boxing or MMA? Do you think there is pretension? You know, because I see a lot of quality fighters in Holland. They train hard. Maybe they're the best place in Europe, actually, maybe even in the world for when it comes to striking. And do you think there's any future down the road for this sport of MMA doesn't die because with this COVID, what's going on? Do you think because I like MMA, you know what I'm saying? I like to watch MMA, like Dutch people like to watch kickboxing.
Yeah, well, the thing is, it's simple. Some people will succeed in MMA, and but most people don't, because it's, like I said, it's a different sport. It's different, you know. In the beginning, you were like a 9 in wrestling and a 2 in stand-up, and now everybody is a 7 or an 8 all over every aspect of the game, and it's becoming a sport on its own. So if you want to succeed in MMA, you need to train MMA, I think. And,
yeah, but you think that down the road, your gym, Mike, going to be like MMA gym instead of kickboxing down the road?
No.
Or boxing? Or boxing?
No, maybe boxing, but not too much boxing. You know, I'm a kickboxer all my life. So why would I change something I do good? You know, so that's the thing. It's the same as I become a mechanic tomorrow. I don't know anything about cars. So why would I do that? Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Anwar, any question?
يس السؤال ديال الماستر مايك، شنو هما الشروط؟ بغاو يعرفوا الشروط ديال لي بروفيسيونيل المحترفين في الكايوان والكيك بوكسين باش يجيو حتى هما الحلم ديالهم كاين هنا مثلا هنا في اسبانيا، الحلم ديالهم هما يترينوا مع مايك، يكوتشيهم مايك، حتى هما يشاركوا في جلوري، حتى هما يشاركوا في عده منظمات، جلوري، شو تايم، كاين بزاف المنظمات كما كنعرفوا كيتعاقد معها مايك. شنو هما الشروط باش يجي بنادم الواحد بروفيسيونيل ويجي عند مايك؟ شنو هما الشروط؟
Thank you. Mike, Anwar, he's asking that a lot of champions or kickboxing practitioners in professional level in Spain asking him questions to ask you what is the conditions to join Big Mike gym? Is there any specific requirement needed by you for you to join you?
Okay. Well, listen, it's simple. Look, if you want to train with me, you have to come to Holland. But the problem is you have to pay it also yourself. People think they want to train, that I'm going to pay it for them or help them. And they say, no, I go fight. And when I fight, and then I said, look, what if you don't succeed? What happened? You know, they got like 2 professional fights and they want to enter glory. I think, well, I don't think so. So I have to disappoint a lot of people, you know, but if you want, you have to just come to Holland, sign up, do your best and see what's happening. And then maybe after 1 month, you don't want to anymore. Or it's because it's a different level most of the time. I'm not saying I'm the best because there are a lot of other good trainers in the world and in Holland, and there are a lot of good gyms. But if you want to train with me, come to Holland and do your best. But most of the time they don't have the money or they don't have the ability. Then I said, ask friends, family or sponsors to help. Yeah, but I don't have. Yeah, if you don't have, then that's the problem. You know, you want to drive a Bentley, but you don't have Bentley money. You cannot drive Bentley money. That's simple. And the requirements is just come, train, do your best, and show yourself. Most of the time, if people come from outside, first they got pain in the hands from the punching because they don't punch correct. Then they think it's too hard. Then they need a break. Then, you know, it's a whole different mindset for training. And everybody's welcome, of course, but you cannot expect to make me from somebody who has 2 fights and a glory champion. You know, you just need to try and get experienced. Fight, you know, and not all fights are for a lot of money. Just start fighting just for the fun of it. Things like this, just to get experienced. But most of the people who are coming, they need to fight because they are out of money. Yeah, okay. Then there is also a place, you know, in Holland, it's a little bit more expensive to live. It's a little bit more expensive to eat than, let's say, Spain. But, you know, if you want to do this, yeah, you have to be here. You cannot train, or people send me, can you send me what to do for training? No, I cannot send you what to do because I need to see what you are doing, because otherwise I cannot correct you. And it's more like this, you know, if I say, okay, go run 10 miles and run on, I don't know, 10 kilometers an hour. And they said, yes, I did. I said, okay, when did you leave? Yeah, 30 minutes ago. And I said, it's not possible. Yes, it is. And then we start arguing, you know. I said, okay, you're right. But some things are not possible, if you know what I'm saying. You know? So that's why I just say, look, if you want to train, come to Holland, ask friends, family, sponsors, pay everything yourself, and then see if you can grow up from there. That's simple and the best way to do.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So, Mike, I will show you a few pictures, and if you can describe each pictures in one word. For example, just give your word on each picture. Can you see my screen?
I don't know. No.
Is my screen clear now?
Yeah, I just see myself sitting laughing.
Yeah. So
that's Yuri Mes.
Yeah. What do you think?
My first fighter who made me well known around the audience, and he's also the logo.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's Badr Hari, of course. That's the guy who made me famous as coach. And, you know, we did a lot for each other. And, yes, we were always grateful for that. Jamal Ben Sadiq, you know, I just train with him. He's actually today he's coming to Holland again. And then we start to train for the next Glory show. You know, he hasn't reached out to get all of he doesn't have, how do you say, he doesn't have reached his fully potential yet, but it will come.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. Thank you. So thank you. What finally we come to the end of this program. What is your advice, Mike, to all the Moroccan champions who would like to come to Holland and join you in Big Mike Club?
Yeah, well, first of all, train hard, eat well, rest well. These things are important, but most of all, train smart. You know, some things are not smart. The other thing is, you know, if you come to Holland, make sure you want to do this, you know, because you are alone here and you need to blend in with the other fighters, but make sure you really want to do this. And, well, if you really want it, go for it. You know, there is always a way, but make sure you do it yourself. Don't ask anybody else. You know, don't ask me because I don't have money. I get every day 5, 6 people ask me if I can help them. Yeah, send me a visa. Okay, we are in Holland in a lockdown. How can I send you a visa? You know, Morocco is closed. How can I send you a visa? Sometimes you just need to be, you just need to be real. You know, think what's possible and what's not. You send me a photo, you do one combination, and you ask me, and what do you think? Okay, that's one combination. Maybe 2 tempos too low, you know, with some other faults. What do you want? You want me to give you an honest answer, or just say, okay, just leave it at that? You know, if I ask you, how many fights do you have? Yes, many fights. Okay, how many fights? Yeah, many fights. Okay, so look, if you're not going to be honest, because that's also the other thing, you have to be honest.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
Same if you go to the doctor, and I'm not saying I'm a doctor, but you go to the doctor, say, yeah, I got pain. Where you got pain? Yeah, somewhere here in my body. Okay, the doctor will understand that. What do you want him to do?
Sure.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, gents, any questions, Anwar or Bruce?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Last question.
سؤال المايك استاذ مايك، شنو سر التألق ديال المغاربه والهولنديين في رياضه الكيك بوكسين والكايوان؟ شكرا.
So that's simple questions. I'm sure Mike will ask that. Mr. Anwar, he's asking, what is the secret in the success of Moroccan athletes or Moroccan champions? Have they got anything special? In the kickboxing and K1 in particular.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes they're a little bit more tough than the other people. In Holland, this is because they are a lot of people. A lot of guys are from the streets, so the life is a little bit tougher, a little bit harder. So they are a little bit tougher in the ring as well as in sports. But at the rest, I don't know. He's a Moroccan. He knows better how the Moroccans.
Yes. So he said, yeah. Well, Bruce, the last question, Bruce.
Yeah, I don't have any question. I'm a big fan of that. I'm a jiu-jitsu coach, MMA coach, and I love to watch kickboxing. And I think in Holland, I could, it's very good kickboxing. I don't want that sport to die. Really, what Mike said is, it's true. Is the Hárي, Jamal bin Saddam. I look at them; they could be badass MMA fighter. You know what I'm saying? I don't want them to retire. They have to think for another level. You know what I'm saying? And I think what he said is all that makes sense. You cannot lie in these things. You play a game with it. Question and answer. Everything on the screen and, and then Instagram and then Facebook, whatever he said. I face same questions what he's facing when people want to send you video. Can you show me how to pass up guard, how to fight in the cage, what they're going to need to do? Man, you need to be in the gym. All the big names, they train in the gym. They don't train in online. Anybody famous, could they work hard for it in the gym, not online things, And I think to be good fighter, you have to be honest to yourself. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's good. Talk to yourself first what you want to do. It's not you want to be like Hárي or Jamal. You have to look at the history of them, how they've been through to become a champion. Not just when you're champion, I want to be like him. You know what I'm saying? Everybody could be champion. But, I prefer, as a coach, I prefer to focus someone who hit to lose, who got the heart. Moroccan, they got the heart. They are fighter. You know what I'm saying? We're born with, we are nice, and at the same time, we have that switch. When you go fight, you check. You see about the Hárي, he would enjoy talking to everybody in the street. Like, he become 100% Moroccan. Like, you don't think this guy going to be champion because we're humble. But when they go on a fight, they turn lions. That's why we have a logo of a lion athletes. You know what I'm saying? Moroccan, I think even Joe Rogan talk about it, Moroccan is something gift from God, But thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I could talk until tomorrow, but this is a show for Mike.
I agree.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mike
you very
is a
much.
good guy. He's always hosts me in his gym. He's a really, really nice guy. I want Moroccan to know it. He's a great, man and a big heart. And if all Moroccan don't train, I think he's a good place to train too.
Absolutely,
Okay?
absolutely.
I appreciate. Thank you for having me this opportunity too.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Mike, for your time. We know you are very busy, but you dedicated your time for us and for the audience of Silat Wasl and for Moroccan audience and the followers of the world champions. We appreciate that. I am a fan of you, and I'm inspired by you as well. And I wish you all the best. And hopefully we see our Moroccan fighters back to the ring. And I personally prefer and wish to see you behind them, coaching them and raising their level and make them extinguish between the other world champions. Thank you very much. And hopefully we'll see you in Holland one day.
March 19 again, glory. Jamal bin Saddam and Badr Hárي.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Bruce. Thank you very much, Bruce. Thank you, Anwar.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time, all. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you for having us too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.